I feel like Dorothy in Oz for the whole first year that I lived in New York City after moving here from Wisconsin. Like a fish out of water, this is no place like home, it's very expensive, one whole paycheck goes for my student loans. Plus, I have my mother's voice in my head saying, you'll be robbed and assaulted, and you'll be dying in a ditch, and nobody will come and get you in New York because you're too far away from home. You know, robbers and rapists and death, oh my. Thanks, Mom. But I'm here for adventure, so I always make sure, just a superstition, that I have a $10 bill somewhere hidden on my person so that if I get jammed up, I can get a cab if I have to, but I can definitely get a slice of pizza for $1 at 11 o'clock at night. So I'm in Washington Square Park at an art fair, and I'm admiring this painting. It's a watercolor of a beach, and it has a surfing wave on one side and a mountain in the distance with a hiking trail going up. And then the guy in the booth says, that's Hawaii. He's cute. He looks like Mark Hamill, and he's holding a copy of Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. And I say, well, the only time I was in Hawaii was to change planes at 3 a.m., so. And he walks over to me and he says, well, you should go. It's amazing. I'm Bernie. And I say, I'm Jude. And that book you're reading, that book is the reason I became a therapist. That book changed my life. And he goes, oh, I know, it's so powerful, it's so inspiring. And we start talking, and a half an hour goes by, and we really connect, and he says, would you like to have dinner with me and talk about this some more? And I say, well, I'd love that. And he says, how about next Thursday? And I think, that's oddly specific. And he says, and I said, well, there's a place right by my apartment. Let's go there. And he goes, I have a plan. And then he calls me every day leading up to Thursday. And by the third or fourth phone call, I think to myself, I like Bernie. He has depth. And he wants to take me out to dinner. He picks me up, and I get in his brown Pontiac station wagon. And we start driving downtown, and he says, there's some people I want you to meet before we go out for dinner. And then he heads for the Lincoln Tunnel. And I say, in New Jersey? And he says, you're gonna love it, I swear. And I'm thinking, robbers and rapists and death. Robbers and rapists and death. And I got my hand on the handle of the door. And a half an hour later, I'm in the workshop space of a Holiday Inn. And projected on the wall are images that look an awful lot like Hawaii. And there are people with clipboards wearing suits walking around, and chairs in a half circle. And Bernie introduces me to some woman named Delilah, and while I'm speaking to her, the lights go down, Bernie leaves, the doors close, guys with clipboards are standing by the door, a PowerPoint or a slide comes up that says, who's in control of your life? And I think right now it's a guy named Bernie, and I don't know where the hell he went. And then a speaker gets up and she says, do you know who you are? And do you know what you want? And I think, I know, I want someone to buy me dinner, but he disappeared. And this begins a 45-minute high-pressure, high-stakes pressure sales pitch for a 5-day Transform Your Life seminar in Hawaii for $3,500. Yes, a self-help hostage situation more traumatizing than anything my mother could ever have come up with. And at the break, I run for the doors, and the guys are blocking me, and they're saying, I hope you brought your checkbook. You can't afford not to take this seminar. And I muscle my way past these guys, and I go find Bernie, and he's at the bar, and he's having a drink. And I say, couldn't you have just been honest with me and told me what this was? And he said, would you have come? And good point. and I say, well, what would you get out if I did sign up for this? And he said, 20%. And then I feel it. I feel it like I felt in one of those phone calls. I think, I really hate Bernie. And I think maybe I can't click my heels together 3 times and just transport myself back to my apartment, which really feels like home right now. But I do have $10, and I can get a bus, one of these buses that goes past this hotel, and I can get back to my neighborhood, and I can get a slice of pizza for $1. And after that, whenever a guy says, I've got a plan, I do ask him to be a little bit more specific.